Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we all have our bad run of stones, and I have been on a shockingly bad run. And when I get into that kind of trap and I start getting a bit demoralized, I do this. I switch to a stone that I am almost guaranteed to have a good time with. Here you can see it's a nice Coober Pedy. This is from Julian Stavrius. Got this a long time ago from a small little parcel that was on the channel. And you can see here, it's a pretty good multicolored white. So it's got the whole spectrum in there. It's very beautiful. It's got a little bit of exposure already on this top side, whereas the back is still rough and flat. So I'm going to make this the carving face for now. And you can see here, there's a lot of little issues here and there. But what I've done already is I've just checked it out with the torch, and none of them look overly bad. I can always be surprised, but the torch is showing that it's a pretty good stone. Even the stuff you can see here on the side and back, that's actually not that deep, so that can be gotten rid of quite easily. And yeah, I like to do stones like this where you can see a nice scattering of color across the entire face of the stone. You're bound to get something, and it's very much needed at this point in time because I've had a bad run. Now, just behind it, you can see here, this is the entire spectrum of tools that I'm going to use for this opal. So there's a 80 grit sintered diamond, 600 grit sintered diamond, the black, grey, brown, pink Nova points, and then this is the felt. This is the cerium oxide for this one because it's going to be a pretty standard Coober Pedy white. So the cerium oxide is going to have the best polishing result. And of course, all of these are on the website, so feel free to jump over to roydsrocks.com and you can pick yourself up any of those. The Nova points are still out of stock, but I will be working on that very soon, so they'll be back. It's always a struggle because I have to get them from the US and they take a while, but I've been pretty lazy with it as well, so I need to fix that. Anyway, let's get the carving stuff out and start spinning up the Dremel. And away we go, 80 grit sintered diamond. Heavy duty boy, probably not recommended to use on a stone like this. When you've got a thin crust on the outer surface, just a little bit of potch, or a little bit of loose sand or something, I wouldn't recommend going the 80 grit sintered diamond unless you're really used to it, because this stuff will remove opal like you wouldn't believe. It's incredibly fast, especially if you apply any pressure. I'm just going at it very carefully because the typical rule is, if you can see the color, don't use the 80 grit sintered diamond. And you can see that it's already peeking through that little bit of potch. It takes seconds, literally seconds, so be really careful with it. I just wanted to use it to speed it up. I knew there were some areas that would need a little bit of work, so I knew that the 80 grit sintered diamond would make it happen a lot quicker. But yeah, you can see here, we get through this entire face really fast. And you can see I'm not digging at these tiny little imperfections. Even though there's little sand spots and stuff like that, you need to even it out across the surface, otherwise you're going to have lots of divots. Divots mean that it's going to be a much harder stone to finish and get a polish on. But you can see I'm starting to get to the point where everything is showing. And the edge I work on, but I also don't recommend this. I don't recommend using the 80 grit for the edges because it can chip quite a lot. When I was doing it, I'm going with the edge. Never go across the edge when you're using the 80 grit. The 600, this is where you start focusing on the edges a lot more and just get it nice, get the shape nice. Make sure there's no sharp edges. But also, I was being a little bit wishful and grinding at the face, trying to clear up a little bit more of the fog. I do get rid of a bit more here with the 280 grit, but you can see the color is on the surface now. So at this point, you really don't want to hit it too long with the 280 or the 600 sintered diamond. Any of the sintered diamonds above that either. But you can see here, I'm just working on the whole surface, hit everything, make sure you get all those scratches out. This 280 is the most important part. I can't stress it enough. That's why I do things like this and get the texture on there. And you'll see here, I'll just focus on this big area. I've scribbled the texture to hit a large area, but that's not all imperfection. You'll see here when I rub off the majority of it, what's left are these tiny little pits. Now these tiny little pits are the ones that I've missed in the previous pass over. And it's not bad, I didn't miss very much, but these little ones are always the most stubborn, so I do recommend that everyone get at it with a texter and just get rid of these. You can see they're still there, they are quite stubborn, and that's why they were missed in the first pass. I always expect these to be on a stone, and I would say 99% of the time I do find an area that I need to work again, and there's at least one or two little texture lines or dots put on the stone. And then I get rid of them with the 280, and this will make sure you get a good finish. Without this, those little pits would have still been there, everything else would have been shiny. Because the 600, 1200, 3000 and cerium oxide, they're not going to get rid of those little pits. So really, I can't stress it enough. That 280 grit Nova point is the reason I get a decent finish on a stone. If that goes wrong, then everything else will just crumble as well. It's like dominoes. The Sinter Diamonds stage, much more forgiving, but you might have to spend more time on the 280. But if you skip the 280 or cut it short, you are not going to get the finish, or you're going to get the finish and then you're going to look in some little area and go, oh, wait a minute, I've missed something there. And then you're going to have to go all the way back to that 280 and repeat the process again, which saves a lot of time getting it right the first time. So definitely focus on that. If there's one takeaway, 280 grit, Nova point, most important step. Another one done and dusted, and it was, it's still not as good as I wanted it. It's a little bit potchy in some areas, as you can see. So not perfect. I was hoping for a little bit better, but I'll take anything with color in it at the moment. I've had so many duds in a row that this is a fantastic result. As you can see, full color spectrum. So you've got your reds at certain angles, you've got your greens, blues. There's a little bit more green, but it doesn't come up on camera overly well. I can't really remember the angle of it. But when you need to remember the angle to see certain colors, it means you've got a pretty interesting stone. It is pretty slippery. I'm trying to handle it with gloves at the moment because I feel like my fingers are looking pretty rough at the time of recording due to the wrinkly fingers. And you can see here, I've left a nice little flat little base so it can sit flush against the surface like that and present this face as the front. Because it is a pretty good face. The back wasn't so bad either. There were some hidden sandy spots in here. So once I got rid of those surface sand spots, there are actually some hidden behind it as well. You can see I've left one right there. I don't want to drill all the way through to the face. The face is what we want to protect. But yeah, overall it's not a bad stone. I do like the face that was selected, which is lucky because that was the side that was chipped and semi-exposed already. And maybe the base would have a little bit more red. I'm seeing a lot of the warmer colors there, so I could actually trim that flat back even further. And then maybe that would be a pretty cool 3D stone all the way around. And it was a little bit hard to get that dip nice and polished, but got there in the end. It's just a couple extra minutes that you have to spend. But the process is the process, and it always comes out pretty well. Just got to take your time and really focus on the 280 grit Nova. That's the key critical point. That is the most important part of this carving. It ties it all together and gets you from a piece of rough to a scrubbed up piece in no time. Yeah, this stone's taken 2 weeks longer than I thought it would because of the shoulder injury, and I'm feeling a little bit of discomfort in the shoulder now, so I'm gonna call it quits. This video will hopefully be out on normal time, maybe a day late, but I couldn't just leave it sitting there. As you can see, I stopped halfway through the process and it's been sitting there at the halfway stage for ages, and I'm glad I've finished it up. There's actually 2 more stones accompanying this one. All that I worked on started at the same time because I was getting real sick of having some failed attempts, which is what happens when you buy really cheap beginner's parcels. You will get a lot of failed attempts. So every now and then, if you find a parcel and you find a good stone in it, just set it aside and leave it for a rainy day when you're feeling down in the dumps. Because you get in a bit of a rut like I was, and then you start a couple good stones and suddenly you're back to fully fresh and fighting fit. So stones like this really help me turn it around sometimes, because you can have a really bad run of luck, or you can just be working really low value stones. A lot of us do because they are much cheaper to get, but every now and then you do need to just get a nice stone and work on it and get exactly what you expect out of it. So thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.